Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to Pivot's Straight Talk on Social Media webinar. This is Ian Desher, Creative Director from Pivot, talking to you on what has been a wet week here in Oregon. Today we're going to be talking about Facebook ads and Facebook page insights, both things that we've talked about in past webinars, but things that Facebook has changed recently, made some changes to, and so something we wanted to make sure we review. But first, before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the news. You may have heard that Twitter went public. That was just, I believe that was just yesterday or the day before, and they raised $1.82 billion by selling, I think it was 70 million shares at $26 a piece. So it was the biggest tech IPO since Facebook went public, and they were trying to keep their shares sort of modestly priced so that they don't avoid, so that they do avoid the Facebook sort of plunge in share price that happened after Facebook first went public. You can see this chart here that is just showing sort of very early, indications of how things are going. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Twitter. They're now valued at something like $18 billion. It'll be interesting to see how this changes them as a company, particularly with regard to ads and how that starts coming into play. And speaking of that, in a manner of speaking, Twitter recently redesigned its pages just a little bit, and so now in your Twitter feed you may have noticed that when people are posting pictures on Twitter, like my friend Eric Smith did here, all of a sudden those pictures are now showing up in the feed itself, but you don't have to click to see them. Users on any social media site never necessarily love what they see when they first when change is first introduced. So not a big surprise there. Another bit of news is that Facebook autoplay video ads are coming. They are sort of being talked about more and more. Facebook is starting to roll them out to certain users just to sort of give people a preview of what it's going to be like. So these are videos that will start playing automatically when you come to the site, sort of like you might see on Yahoo or IMDb, where the volume is turned all the way down, but the video is in fact playing once you've loaded the page. And so that's something that they will be introducing, and I'm sure also something that will make most Facebook users not super happy, have these ads coming at them, but an opportunity for marketers as well to to sort of catch people's eye with interesting ads. So that's the news, and then moving into the focus. Like I said, Straight Talk on Facebook ads and page insights, sort of an update. So these, as I said before, these are both topics that we've covered. Facebook ads we've probably talked about in webinars 4 or 5 times since I've been doing these webinars over the last 3 years now. And page insights we've talked about a couple times as well. But Facebook made some changes recently to each of these that are both good news for marketers in different ways. So I wanted to talk, sort of refresh that. It's always good to sort of update your knowledge on what's going on with those changes with Facebook to make sure you're keeping abreast of all of those changes. So let's start with Facebook ads. The main thing that Facebook has changed is what you're seeing here in this screenshot, where they are asking you first thing, okay, what's your objective? Let's start with what your goal is, what you want your ad to accomplish. And so they have these 8 different objectives listed. Do you just want to get more likes for your page? Do you want people to be engaging with a particular post from your page? Do you want people to click off to a website or to actually convert something with a website, so actually make a sale on a website, for instance? Do you want them to install the app that you've created and uploaded through Facebook? Or do you want them to engage with that app? Or do you want them to respond to a particular event that you've created? Or do you want them to claim a particular offer? So I want to walk through, what I'm going to do is show you the the first three of these in some detail, and then the last five I'll just talk about briefly. But the first three I want to talk about it in some detail because I think they are, and I think the reason they're listed first is also because they are sort of the most important and the ones that you're probably most likely to be using. So first of all, with page likes, right? So you click on page likes, and it gives you this option, right? So the point is to grow your audience, and so the first thing you do is you put in your Facebook page name or its URL, and then it starts giving you some more options. Okay, so now you want to go ahead and select an image, and it's going to pull images from the page, or you can upload images. You can look at your image library that Facebook has for you, but that's sort of the next thing it wants to do with a page like ad. And then it's very similar to creating ads. If you've run Facebook ads before, it's very similar to what you will have done there. You're getting to put in some headline text, getting to put in some body text. You do have this option to have both newsfeed ads and right column ads, so you can do either or both of those. At no additional cost. It's going to just, give you, you're going to be working from the same campaign budget is what I mean by that. So that sort of gives you an idea, and then you can, like it, or users can like it directly from that ad if they want to. I'm sorry. So let me stick with there for a second. The other options with a Facebook-like campaign, a campaign to gain likers. The other options are basically the same as they've always been. So the targeting is the same. You still have the same demographics available to you, the same data from some of their partner networks, so that you can get pretty specific if you want to. So none of that has changed in terms of the targeting. And also, none of the sort of click mechanisms have changed either. You can still pay per impression or pay per click, anything like that. So really, the difference now in how Facebook has set this up is really in what they're showing you at the beginning. And so that's what I'm going to be looking at here for these first three options. It's just sort of the beginning of the process, because the end of the process really has not changed much in terms of how they've set it up. So let's look at page post engagement. And so this is where you have a particular post on your page, or you want to create a unique post for your page, and people can then start engaging with that post. What Facebook is going to do is they're going to take that post and they're going to put it in the news feeds of a lot of, basically a bunch of people who are in your target market but are not necessarily already your likers. And then that's a way to get people to like your page, but also to share news, get them to start commenting on a particular post, that sort of thing. So the way that this works is, again, you put in your page and so I put in Pivot Group, and the first post that it's pulling up here, as you can see, a drop down of posts is Sample Size Matters, which was we did a post about a blog article that our Director of Research, Steve Baseflug, wrote, and he titled it Sample Size Matters, and so you can see that it's giving me that as the first option of a post that we can boost for engagement. And it also then, you see on the right-hand side there, you see that there's this option to actually create a new post as well. So you're able to do that. You can create a post that basically will never show up on your actual page, or if it does show up, you can make it hidden if you want to. We've done that with one client of ours. So you can create a totally new post for your page. You don't have to rely on something you've already posted as well. And that actually could be helpful in terms of, especially if you had some sort of big product announcement or something like that, creating one that is unique for the ad so that it doesn't already have to be out there before the ad runs could be useful. I forgot to mention at the top of the webinar, of course, if you have questions, don't hesitate to put them into that GoToWebinar control panel, and I'll be happy to take those as we go or at the end. So that's the page push engagement, and then you can see once you continue with that, once you've chosen a post, it's not giving you an option for an image. It's not giving you an option for text that you can put in. It's just taking that post that you have created and using that as the ad itself. And so you can see, again, sort of what it's going to look like in the newsfeed, what it will look like in the right column. Again, you can do either or both of those types of ads. And then the third one that I wanted to show you specifically is this clicks to website option. And this is, if you've done Facebook ads, this is likely the way that you've done them before, right, where you are getting people to click on your ad so that they can then go off to your external website. And so this is that option. So you enter your URL, your website address for this option, and then that lets you get started. And again, it's going to ask you to select an image to start off. It's going to try to pull some images. You know, it's pulling this image when I put in AskPivot.com from our website. So it's going to try to sort of, you know, crawl that page really fast and pull some images if possible. And then again, like a traditional Facebook ad that you may be used to, you have your headline and your text, and you can go from there with the targeting. Again, the newsfeed ad, the right column ad. So this doesn't change much once you've selected this option. To run through the remaining 5 types of ads here, there's the website conversions. So you can see even when I click on website conversions, it is sort of stopping me in my tracks and saying, hey, you haven't created a tracking pixel for your website yet. A tracking pixel is a little bit of code that you can create that you then put on a page of your website, and it can be, you know, a sort of, if you want people to go to your website and download something, then this tracking pixel can be on your download complete page, so that when somebody actually gets to that page after having been to a Facebook ad, then Facebook says, okay, ding, 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 this person actually converted and downloaded that thing. Or if you were wanting somebody to buy something on your website, you could put this tracking pixel on your confirmation, your thank you page, you know, thank you for ordering, and then Facebook knows, okay, that person converted. So you have to create that before you can create this ad. It's a powerful tool, and not one that we've had a chance to experiment yet with the client here, something we'd love to do, but haven't had a chance to yet with any of our clients who are running Facebook ads. But something that can be really powerful because it really helps you measure that ROI of your Facebook ads. The next one, app installs. So if you do have an app on Facebook and you want to see if somebody's actually will actually install it, this one will sort of, you know, give you a successful hit if somebody has actually installed the app that you are trying to promote through an ad. Similarly, in app engagement, if you want somebody to be engaging with your app in one way or another, then you can start doing that. Event responses. So this is as simple as, you know, creating an event through your Facebook page, or I'm guessing, although I haven't checked this, I'm guessing you could do this even with personal events if you really wanted to. I'm guessing I could, you know, create an event for my birthday party and, you know, invite everybody in the world to it if I wanted to. And you can do that this way. And then it's going to give you, you know, feedback on how many people have, you know, responded to that event, how many people are attending, that sort of thing. And then offer claims. So you've heard me talk on these webinars about Facebook offers. And so you can create a new offer for your business. You know, again, it's asking you to start off with a particular page of yours, and then you create an offer for that page. So we could create something that said, you know, 15% off marketing services from Pivot, and then it's going to, you know, mark this ad as having been successful once somebody is actually, you know, getting that claim, sort of going and finding it and selecting it. So that's another way that Facebook is saying you can target based on, you know, sales that you want to push through Facebook, through your Facebook page. So those are all the options for targets. Again, I think a very smart way for Facebook to have laid this out to get people thinking about, okay, you know, why would I be running a Facebook ad in the first place? What is my ultimate goal in doing this? And they say, let's start with that, and then from there, we'll help you design the ad that you want to create. And then, so moving on to Facebook Page Insights. Facebook introduced some of these changes to its Page Insights just about a little over a month ago, shortly before my last webinar. And so I want to make sure that I talk you through them. What they've done is sort of introduce some new ways of looking at information, new data. It's more visual and I think easier to understand. So let me just, as you're looking at this this first graphic here, you can see along the top here the categories that Facebook is going to give you. So there's sort of a general overview, but then there's also information about likes, your reach, your number of visits, and how your posts are doing, and then what sort of people are engaging with your page. And so that's the buckets that they've sort of decided that it's going to be easiest for you to get your information. So the overview, first of all, it's just giving you a general page overview. Okay, here's how your page is doing. Here's the number of likers you have. Here are the people that you are reaching. Which includes not only people who are seeing your posts and interacting with them, but also people who are sharing your posts, and so sort of the friends of friends that end up seeing your post because people are sharing your information and that sort of thing. And then the number of people who are engaged. So how many people are actually commenting on your post or sharing your post, or in some way actually clicking the like button on a post, some way actually engaging with your page, and not just sort of seeing it go by. So that's going to give you a broad overview, and I'll show you another overview screen in just a couple minutes here. Your like information, so it's giving you just information on how many likers you have. Now you can see that this is Pivot's Facebook page that we're looking at here. Our likers don't ramp up wildly, but you can see how this would be useful, right? Particularly if you were running an ad to increase Facebook likes, or if you were running a contest or promotion and you wanted to see if it were successful, that sort of thing, you would start seeing spikes here and things like that, or you'd start to see it go up higher on a particular day. And I would tell you that a particular campaign had been successful potentially. And then your post reach. This is the number of people who saw your post, and again, this is based on your number of likers, and so how many of your likers saw your post in their newsfeed. But then beyond that, how many people were sharing. So you can see here in some of these posts that we did, right? You can see that. Okay, it looks like on average 150 people or so of the 410 likers we had at the time this screenshot was taken. About 150 people are seeing an average post, just by virtue of who's checking Facebook often enough to see it, who's doing whatever. But then clearly something here in early September happened, and somebody was sharing some of our posts, and so this was actually during our Pivot Forward conference. You can see that somebody would paid advertising for our Facebook page. But note that this screen is set up to show you that, right? So it has organic reach here, but then it also will show you your paid reach if you have been running ads for your page as well. So this is another way to track that. The visits option, right? So you can see the number of times that people actually came to your page, whether they, and then it shows you what kinds of tabs that they were looking at. So people came to our timeline a certain number of times each day, or they were looking at our photos tab for whatever reason on particular days. The admin tab even is going to show you that. And things like that. So you can start to see, this is particularly helpful if you were running a custom Facebook tab and you were able to see, okay, look, there's been a lot of activity over on that tab. People really are coming to it, or for some reason it doesn't look like people are coming to it. And so trying to figure out sort of what's going on there, can be useful as well. And then looking at the posts. I love this. This is one of my favorite graphs, and I'll talk about that more in a few minutes. But basically, you can see here, this is showing you, basically like the number of fans who are online during a particular time. So this is actually giving you some more information, right? So it's showing me that, hey, look at this, Thursday. Thursday is when most of my likers, who like my Facebook page, are looking at their are checking out Facebook. Now it's pretty even across the week, right? Sunday it's a little less, and Thursday, or I'm sorry, Tuesday actually. There's Tuesday and Thursday peaking at almost the same, right? And this is how many people in a 1 week period, the last 1 week period, were online on those days. And then what time are they online, right? And this time is showing based on Pacific time, because that's what we have our page set to, right? So you can see here. 7:30 p.m.-ish is really when most people are on time. It really ramps down early in the morning, right? But you can see this is when you can start to glean from this. Okay, well, when are the best days and times that I should be posting if I actually want to catch my viewers' attention? Catch the people who like my page. I think this is just a fascinating graph that they've given you here. And then the demographic information. I always think demographic information is helpful. So they're telling you a bit about your fans and things like that. And then they've actually, you can see here on the next one, you can actually click in to get some more information. So you can see there, women 18 to 24 are 3.7% of Pivot Group's fans, but they represent 14.4% of all of Facebook. So what that tells me is that Pivot Group is not as popular with women 18 to 24 as as it could be, right? We could have as more than that because clearly 14.4% of Facebook are women 18 to 24. Now that doesn't surprise me. Women 18 to 24 aren't necessarily looking for a marketing agency most of the time, but still, that's that can be very useful information. So there is some information you can sort of drill down into here. In terms of demographics to help you get more information. And then again, something I mentioned that there'd be another overview option. When you first come to the page post, what you're seeing here is information about your 5 most recent posts, right? So it's just giving you a quick snapshot. Here's how some of your recent posts have done. You can see the reach for it, so how that's doing, how many people saw it, and that's often based on how many people are sharing it and that sort of thing, how many people are engaging with the post, things like that. So you can see, people enjoyed the post about Sue and Shauna being at the MATS conference, and so you can see that got some engagement, whereas other posts get less engagement. So it's just really helpful information for showing you, okay, these are how particular posts are doing compared to others, and this gives you a good idea of what you should be posting for the future, or at least just good knowledge about what's likely to be engaged with and viewed and what isn't. So let me talk about some takeaways, 3 takeaways each for ads and for insights. First of all, for ads, Facebook really wants to help you engage effectively. I think the reason that they have created this target-based marketing system for their ads is that they want companies to be successful with their marketing on Facebook, obviously, so that companies will continue to buy ads on Facebook and find it a real value. And I do think that Facebook, has some good insights. That's a loaded word in this webinar, but has some good insights about what the best kind of ad to accomplish the thing that you're trying to do. So the fact that they've said, hey, we know what kind of ad is going to be best if you're trying to get people to like your page, or if you're trying to get people to click through to your website, or if you're trying to get people to come to your event, they are really sort of saying, we're the specialists here, and we're going to help you get the most out of that depending on what you want to do. So I think that really is a helpful step for marketers. Another takeaway related to that is if you are currently running Facebook ads, consider revamping your ads. Often, I don't know what your experience is, but often when I'm running Facebook ads, I will go into last month's ad and I will say, let's create a similar ad. And that takes you to kind of a different screen, really, where it's sort of an older form of the Facebook ad, and your choices are already kind of made for you. I would say, go back to the beginning and rethink some of these options. Think to yourself, what is my target? What is my goal overall for this campaign? And let that guide you, and maybe sort of revamp the way you're doing this. And remember that you can run multiple types of ads within the same campaign, right? So you could run an ad to get Facebook likers. You could run an ad to get people to click through to your website. You could run an ad to get people to engage with your post, and do that all under the umbrella of the same campaign, so that you are still sticking to the amount of money that you want to spend overall. And the third takeaway here is, consider going for one of the sort of engagement paths, right? They have these options to not just get more likers for your page, but actually have people engage with your post. Not just have people click through to your website, but actually put in a conversion tracking pixel that's going to show you if they not only clicked your website, but actually converted in the way that you wanted them to. They downloaded something, or they bought something, or they looked at a particular page that you wanted them to. And so think about, sort of taking that extra step. It's often a little more work. Certainly with the conversion pixel tracking, it's a little bit more work there, but it's going to give you a lot more information and engagement. And what we're finding on social media now is that, it's really not just as much about how many likes you have, it's about how people are engaging with your material. That is really going to show how successful you are. So that's for ads. For insights, I think the absolute sort of most helpful things that this insights change introduces are the demographics information, and the way you can sort of drill down into that and get more and more demographic information, and the information about your latest posts. I think that is really valuable. It's just such an easy sort of quick snapshot kind of way to look at how your recent posts have been doing. And I think that if nothing else, these are the two areas that it's helpful to take a look at every now and then and see, okay, who am I reaching, who am I not reaching, and how are my posts doing? How can I, create posts that are always sort of getting better and better engagement scores and better reach. The next takeaway there is that the new insights will help you determine when to post. And I mentioned that when we were looking at the, I believe it was it was the people tab, I believe, where it was showing you, here are the days of the week when the people who like your page are using Facebook, and here are the times of the day when people who like your page are using Facebook. That information, is super helpful for telling you, okay, I know that if I post at this day and time, that's when I'm going to have the maximum amount of getting my, of finding my users online and finding them checking Facebook and that sort of thing. It can be really useful. And honestly, it can also tell you if there's something you need to put on your Facebook page and you, for whatever reason, it needs to be on there, but you don't want people to engage with it much. It can also tell you when people aren't on as much. Post it Sunday at 2 in the morning and you'll be fine. And the final takeaway here is just remember that the new insights are built both for paid and the organic engagement. So if you are running ads for your Facebook page, know that the new page insights are going to be tracking that and showing how those ads are doing, in addition to just how people are finding your page in general. So that's my takeaways for today. Thank you so much for joining me. My next Straight Talk webinar will be Friday, December 13th, Friday the 13th at 11 o'clock Pacific time, and we'll be talking about takeaways from 2013. So sort of looking at the past year of social media as this year ends and what you can learn from it. And Dave Neustradten's next Straight Talk on Telco Marketing webinar, right now the next time is to be determined. Dave has some weird travel schedules going on, and there's Thanksgiving and things like that. So trying to figure out the exact date for that. But if you are registered for that webinar, you'll be hearing about any date changes there. Thank you again for joining me, everybody. Have a great weekend. Remember to keep your media social and your talk straight.